Love and peace to you. This is a verbal discourse on our Welt Ethos. My name is Peter Johansson Osisi, and I work with the Asona Ashram. And this is an introduction to some teachings from Islam regarding the second principle within our Welt Ethos called Ubuntu, otherwise known as social justice. And so within Islam, there is guidance and um, instruction to be righteous, to be compassionate. Amidst this, there are numerous different protocols and procedures for this, particularly concerning our economic activity and our interaction with others, how we engage and interact with others, and deal with others in terms of business transactions, but also in providing charity and benevolent contributions. Um, Individuals are Muslims are taught to be modest in a comprehensive manner, including in an economic manner, to abstain from being gluttonous, but also to partake of the bounty that is provided, and to attain or to attend to the needs of others. And so all of this is part of Islam and submitting one's will to the will of Allah. And so the Quran teaches that um, amidst the number of pillars of Islam, including Salat and Shahada, and the practice of prayer and making proclamation um, within Islam, um, much of what determines the authenticity of one's religious practice involves righteous economics, compassion, modest economics. And this is a passage from the Quran that speaks to this effect. This is from Surah 272. Excuse me, 277. Surah 2, verse 177. It is not righteousness that you turn your faces towards the east and the west, but righteous is the one who believes in Allah and the last day, and the angels and the book and the prophets, and gives away wealth out of love for Allah, to the near of kin and the orphans, and the needy and the wayfarer, and to those who ask, and to set slaves free, and keeps up prayer and pays the poor rate, and the performers of their promise when they make a promise, and the patience in distress and affliction, and in the time of conflict. These are they who are truthful, and these are they who keep their duty. That is Surah 277. So again, it's other than just simply making proclamations, but it's a matter of a comprehensive set of behavior, of interaction in dealings with others. That involves again compassionate contributions, charitable giving, honesty, genuineness, modesty. Um, the Quran teaches that we have responsibility in providing for ourselves as individuals, as well as for our families, our respective families and communities and those around us. But in doing so, we still maintain the responsibility in entertaining those outside of our circles, our immediate circles, to make sure that everyone, particularly the most needy within our society, within our village and community, receive appropriate sustenance and the needs are met. So this is a teaching from the Quran that speaks to this effect. This is Surah 4:36. And serve Allah, and associate not with Allah, and be benevolent to the parents, and to the near of kin, and the orphans, and the needy, and the neighbor of your kin, and the alien neighbor, and the companion in a journey, and the wayfarer, and those whom your right hands possess. Surely Allah loves not such as are proud, boastful. That is Surah 4:36, 4 verse 36. Again, modesty, compassion, serving others, abstaining from boastfulness. Um, Additionally, again, there's the command to provide as a gift rather than as a loan, as rather than placing strings, attaching strings to favors and benevolence that is shared with others. And this is a passage to this effect. This is Surah 280 a 281. Surah 2, verse 280, verse 281. And if the debtor is in straitness, let there be postponement till he is in ease, and that you remit it as alms is better for you if you only knew. And guard yourselves against the day in which you will be returned to Allah. Then every soul will be paid in full what it has earned, and they will not be wronged. That is Surah 280 a 281. Surah 2, verse 280, verse 281. So again, the forgiveness of debts, letting go of contributions and loans that are previously provided to others. And the Quran goes further to admonish the practice of undue subordination and holding loans over and holding favors and previous gifts and previous favors over others as a way of asserting dominion, control, or undue influence over others. And so this is Surah 104:1 a 4. Woe to every slanderer, defamer, who amasses wealth and counts it. He thinks that his wealth will make him abide. Nay, he will certainly be hurled into crushing disaster. So, the Quran speaks to the easy tendency of becoming arrogant, becoming boastful, and conceited when we experience material prosperity and material bounty. But all of this is provided as a test to test our righteousness, our resolve in righteousness. It can be comparatively easy to be righteous when we are materially impoverished and the recipient of aggression. It's increasingly challenging to stay righteous when we are provided with material provisions, when we are provided with material riches, and the propensity to assert our own will. That's exactly when we need the discipline to be resilient and compassionate in our interaction with others. So the Quran speaks further to this experience of test of all these provisions being an examination to determine the endurance of our righteousness, the constancy of our righteousness, and this speaks to that effect. This is Surah 64, 14 a 18. Surah 64, verse 14 through 18. O you who believe, surely of your wives and your children there are enemies to you, so beware of them. If you pardon or forbear, forgive, surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. Your wealth and your children are only a trial, and with Allah is a great reward. So keep your duty to Allah as much as you can, and hear and obey and spend. It is better for your souls. And whoever is saved from the greediness of the souls, these it is that are successful. If you set apart for Allah a benevolent portion, Allah will double it for you and forgive you, and Allah is the multiplier of rewards, forbearing, the knower of the unseen and the seen, the mighty, the wise. So, again, the material provisions that are often considered as a blessing, as a sign of favoritism, or the lack of such provisions as the sign of unfavoritism or a curse. These are comparatively inaccurate renderings of the intentionality within these experiences, and instead we are guided to be vigilant in our compassion and our righteousness, and to utilize and apportion our stewardship of these of this material wealth in a compassionate and righteous manner. So that is part of the experience of Ubuntu. And those are some teachings from Islam regarding the principle of Ubuntu within our Welt ethos. With that, Ahab wassalam.